Theater Corner welcomes the award-winning recording artist and actress Deborah Cox. Celebrated for her chart-topping hit, Nobody's Supposed to Be Here, which recently marked its 25th anniversary. Cox reflects on the song's enduring impact and its deep resonance within Black culture. In San Diego, she captivated audiences as Glinda in the reimagined production of The Wiz. Cox discusses her dual role as both performer and producer, highlighting the show's modern take infused with cultural nuances. Join us as we delve into Deborah Cox's remarkable journey, her contributions to theater, and her reflections on a legacy that continues to inspire. So, silence your cell phones, folks. You're entering Theater Corner. Deborah Cox, welcome to Theater Corner.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you being here, and welcome to KPBS audience.
Thank you.
And
Good to be here.
and I tell you, I've been waiting 25 years to ask you one question. One question.
That's a long time, so
Oh,
this question
yeah.
better be good.
Oh yeah, it's a good question. And the question is, how did you get here? That's a long time. I got it out. And we could actually start there because this iconic song, "Nobody's Supposed to Be Here," that you recorded, is just. This is actually last year you had the 25-year anniversary of that song.
Yes.
It's baked into the Black culture.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, and I kind of knew that listening to the song, I knew that it was special. I did not know that it would be a record-breaking song. I mean, we would open up Billboard every week and see that it was still number one. And so when it broke the record at 14 weeks, it was just deeply, deeply gratifying because it was a song that defied the odds. It was very different on radio at the time. There was a lot of hip hop, and the song just kept getting airplay all over the place, all over the world. And then the dance version just took on a life of its own. So it's like these two separate messages in a song that have just touched people in a really profound way, you know?
Wow. And so I understand when you first got the demo, which is merely a template, you had to infuse your own self into that song. And when you did it, it was like, boom. What was your approach, to owning that song like that, making it yours?
Making it my own really just meant finding the truth in it. The song really resonated with me. I had actually been in that situation myself, finding love just sort of hit me or blindsiding me, you know what I mean? And I think when you find real truth and connection with a song, that's what happens. You just, the emotion comes out of that. And there were moments in the bridge where I just sort of let go and held the note long. And that was just out of just the feeling of what it made me feel in the moment.
Right. I mean, I certainly can feel that because I mean, even they say like real blues singers can't sing the blues unless they went through some
They
things.
went through some things, right?
How does that make you feel to know? I mean, millions of people hearing this song, but that song fitting into so many situations around the world.
It's confirmation that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm fulfilling and living my purpose, living my truth, and living authentically. And I think when I hear people's stories across the board, talk about how that song and what that song meant to them, it really blesses me. You know what I mean? It gives me this sort of confirmation that I'm doing exactly what I've been put on this earth to do.
I love that.
Just to connect through music. That's why I just stay in gratitude, Michael. I don't take anything for granted. And as I've gotten older and as I've had my family, and that's what I just make sure to acknowledge every day.
Let me get off that song because brother gonna start crying if the more I think about that song. I do love it. So you're here in San Diego actually
Yes.
to perform as Glinda in The Wiz. Tell me about this experience, the show, because you're beyond a performer. You're also co-producing.
I am, yes. I am a co-producer on this one as well, and really honored to hold that title along with, some other early believers. When I got invited by the director, Shelley Williams, she asked if I was interested in just reading the script and the workshop. And I was like, just say less, girl. I am there. And I literally, I just happened to be in New York anyway. And I was, the next day, it was the workshop and everybody was in the room. We read the script and just the story off the page made me an early believer. Because it was like, this is a reimagined version. There's more of a modern take to make it even more of a classic, infused with our cultural things that make it very unique. And that resonated with me, really, really resonated with me. So I talked to my husband about us, becoming more involved with it. And then we were on board. I mean, we had just finished launching our wine company. So it was like, we have, these colossal decisions to make, but it was like, this is a legacy, that we want to be a part of and want to be able to say that we helped to bring to the forefront and bring to the masses, Playing Glinda in it is really a true honor, singing the songs in the show and just being a part of this brilliant cast. And the creative team is incredible, putting on my costume, Sharon Davis designed, and Hannah Beekler with the set design, these are real giants in their field. And I go into the production with gratitude to be able to play this role.
I mean, the show is tremendous. I mean,
Yeah.
I sat there and 2.5 hours were gone just like that. My friends ask me, about the show. The first thing that I tell them, it's exciting and all that. I'm talking to my Black folks. The thing that stood out to me, and you kind of alluded to it a little bit, there are so many Black cultural nuances in there, and it's just really makes it something particularly special.
Yes. I would say the creative team really set the tone between the set design, the costume design, the makeup design by Kirk Cambridge Delpeche, the choreography by Jaquel Knight. You know, the creative team, you know, Shelley's direction really set the tone for what the show would be. And I think it has the essence of the original Broadway version and the film in some ways. And because a lot of the cast, or at least the principal cast, we all have a real connection to the film because that was the only version that we'd seen, and the other versions we see on YouTube and that kind of thing. So it has a very different take for us. You know, we all come to the project with a different perspective. And I think that's why this version is so special. It is a reimagined contemporary version, but it really has the essence of, you know, Broadway and what the film brought.
So tell me about the set design.
Well, there's a lot of symbolism in a lot of the scenes that include a lot of Afrofuturism. And so when we do a lot of our talkbacks after the show, there are professors from the African American Museum that have come and seen the show and were really impressed that a lot of those things were infused in the show. And if you're really paying attention and looking at certain things, you'll notice them. I mean, this is a Black production, and I think that it's a beautiful production that explores Black people not as a monolith. You know, we have many different cultures within the culture. Right. You know, and it's beautifully displayed in this show.
In terms of legacy, Lena Horne introduced the character you're playing back in 1978 in the original film version. How do you go about like honoring her work, but at the same time making that role your own?
For me, I always try to obviously pay homage to the one who laid the groundwork. And I know the shoulders that I stand on with this role. And it was a beautiful challenge because she'd made such a mark and she had such a presence in the film. And I knew that I wanted to both pay homage, but also inject some more of the jazz influence that she had in the film, and also that I have as a background. So when I got He's a Whiz, I knew that I wanted to do something different, but something that was still memorable, but something that still paid homage to the style of the song, which to me felt very jazzy, you know. So that's what I did with Joseph Joubert, who did the music, and Alan Lewis, who also did the music as well. We, you know, it was very collaborative in the sense that there were certain melodic things that I would feel, that I would do. I wanted to make sure that Glinda was sort of birthed out of Dorothy's faith and birthed out of her wanting to go on this journey. And so I wanted Glinda to be that welcoming spirit and aura and vibration. And so I felt like in the moment that He's a Whiz starts, I send her off on this journey, and I wanted to be very inclusive of all the other characters in the scene as well. So we have the call and answer jazz moment that I think shows us as a collective how different and how fun and mystical that we can be. For me, that's the beauty of this role. I've never played a role like this before. Magical and fun. She's limitless, you know, both artistically and musically.
Right. So what's going through your head when, I mean, you shut it down with this, your song is that's the last thing people remember. I mean, this is a classic song at the end.
Thank you.
What goes through your mind when you're delivering such a huge weighty song like that?
In rehearsal, I was like, why? I always find myself in these productions that require these huge, you know, moments, you know. In The Bodyguard, it was I Will Always Love You, delivering that song every night. And here I am, Believe in Yourself.
All right.
In a moment that is very, I understand the importance of it. But I just try to stay present. I try to stay in the moment. And a lot of the times I'm really feeding off of Nichelle, our Dorothy. Nichelle Lewis, incredible actress and singer, dancer. She's just she is like a true triple threat.
Right. Oh, yes, she is.
And her instincts are so pure and honest. And I'm really responding off of her and her energy. So every single night the song is different because I'm really just sort of tapped into that moment, and I think that's what helps me to deliver the song and telling a story. It's not about vocal acrobatics or antics or anything. It's really just delivering the story and what those words mean. And that has been a mantra of mine almost practically most of my life. Believe in yourself.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
It's gotten
cool.
me to this, got me
Right.
to this moment. Yeah.
Would you characterize yourself as a singer who acts or an actor who sings?
Wow,
Tricky
that's
question.
It is a tricky question because I came into this industry doing musical theater before being a recording artist.
Oh, okay. It's your foundation.
So a lot of people don't know that side of me. They're sort of discovering this now, but I had been doing it before. So I guess you could say it's both. It applies to both. Yeah.
All right. And so you sort of had your own kind of a Dorothy journey, coming out of Toronto. How does a young girl, because you started very early.
I started at 12.
Started 12 to get to Broadway.
I just knew what I wanted to do. I didn't have a roadmap of how I would get there. In Toronto, there was not a lot of Black entertainment. There wasn't an infrastructure for R&B music. So it took me having to go take other opportunities to get out there. But I started singing background vocals for Celine Dion, got a lot of experience on the road doing that. And then I met my husband. The two of us, wrote and produced songs that got to the ear of Clive Davis. And then he was the one who pretty much took me under his wing and offered a record deal. And so that's where the journey of the recording world started. But, prior to that, I was doing background vocals and commercials and doing musical theater, all kinds of things, just because I loved to sing and I loved to perform.
Speaking of performing on Broadway, I mean, you're doing quite a challenging to tour these cities and land into New York. This is quite a challenge just for the average person, but you're a mother, you're a wife, you have your wine coming out. How do you manage that?
You create a great team and you prioritize. I know for me, the only reason why all of this works is because I prioritize my family life and my personal life. And so if that's not working, nothing else works.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like out of alignment, out of sync. So those are the things that make me happy. And those are the things that I try to focus on and like I said, prioritize. And then it's easier to create sort of a system that'll work. So for our family, like no more than a week to 10 days, being away from the family. I mean, that works for me.
Right.
So I try to not be away that long. But then, my children are also teens now, so they're older now. But we shift and we change and we juggle and we tag team a lot. And then we're both committing to making it work and figuring it out. You know what I mean? We don't just throw in the towel. When things get tough, we try to figure it out.
A lot of people don't realize just the physicality of the performances. So I was curious, like on a personal note, what is your go-to for keeping?
That's a good question.
Because I mean, really, if that shuts down,
you don't have anything. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything.
What's your go-to?
My go-to really is I take everything in moderation because I'm not going to say I'm not vegan. I'm not, I eat what I like. I do things that make me happy, but I do a lot of that in moderation. I just know that I know what's required for me to do a show.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes I'm going to get the 6 to 8 hours and then sometimes I'm not. So if I know that I'm not going to get that much time, then I try to take it easy on myself. And I don't guilt myself into anything either. You know what I mean?
Right,
Sometimes it just is what it is, and you just go with the flow.
You are an inductee as of
Right.
May 2022. But not just an
Wow.
inductee, but you're the first Black woman
Yes.
to be inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame, and only the second Black person after Oscar Peterson.
Oscar Peterson. I never would have thought that this would have been a part of my journey, you know? I've just learned that as a pioneer, as a trailblazer, as someone who is the first, it's going to come with a lot of unrecognition. It's placed in your path so that, you know, you can do it. What, you know, to whom much is given, much is required. I never came into this industry thinking, oh my, this is, I want to be in the Hall of Fame. No, I just wanted to do music and touch lives, and it has been a blessing to me. So I think this is part of the journey and part of the blessing. And it's always about, you know, reaching and bringing people along with you on the journey.
And you certainly live in the moment. Sort of last minute. Tell me about this story where you actually got to sing with Bocelli.
Yes,
That's huge.
Yes, it is huge. Andrea Bocelli is huge in the opera world, and I love his music. And I got the call 24 hours before his performance at the O2 in London. So it meant getting on a flight and just sort of, you know, they needed an answer. Someone had, I guess, canceled or gotten sick. And I said yes. And I didn't even realize how I was going to get there, what it was going to require, what I needed to do. And they were like, well, it's 3 songs. One of them is in Italian. And I said, yes, just, can you have a teleprompter? And they were like, yes, we have, you know, all that. So I flew out there, got there. The hotel room wasn't ready. So I had breakfast. When it was ready, it meant to just stay awake for the performance. And I got ready and put on my Roberto Cavalli dress, and I went on the stage and was in front of like just thousands of people at the O2 in London, and just
Amazing.
I was just pinching myself like, wow, these moments are what you stay prepared for. And it just reminded me, just like when you get that call from the great, you be ready. And so I did the show, and it was amazing. And then I got called again to do one of his specials in Florida for Valentine's Day, and I sang "I Will Always Love You." And so it's been a beautiful connection. Every now and then I'll go and do different performances, but these are things that this amazing journey has afforded me, you know. And like I said, I don't take it for granted, because you know, I just know that just doesn't happen.
Right. No, come on now.
You know,
I mean,
like
people can say
singing
it.
with Whitney Houston, that just does not happen.
Right.
You know, so I feel really, really blessed. And Kazaisu, which is my wine company, is Kazaisu, Kazaisu, named after my 3 children. You had a taste of it at the tasting.
Correct.
Beautiful, light tasting dry rosé that has all the varietals that I love, Grenache, Sansol, and we found this beautiful vineyard, award-winning vineyard, that's #1 in sustainability, called Chateau Maglière, and our company has also been approved by WeBank, the women-owned certification. It's fun being an entrepreneur in a completely different setting.
Right.
But yeah, it's like the wine kind of like, it's kind of parallel with my career, just sort of aging well.
Aging well indeed.
Right.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for taking time to come visit a brother here on Theater Corner. I mean, your schedule is moving like that, so it's greatly appreciated.
Sure. Thank you.
And
Thank you for this platform and recognizing, you know, performers like myself. I appreciate it.
Fantastic. And I really appreciate you. Keep doing what you're doing and keep representing us like you are.
Thank you. Will do.
All right. Thank you so much, Deborah.
Take care.
And thank you, viewers, for tuning in to another episode of Theater Corner, and we'll see you next time.